we are going to replace filament. That's the first step because if you don't have filament in your machine, you're not printing today. So these steps are true for every 3D printer that works like this. However, I'm going to focus on the Davinci 3-in-1 Pro that we currently use. You can open up the back flap, and this is going to expose the filament back here. The original filament that comes in this product is ABS, as garbage. We don't like this stuff. ABS is not easy to print with. It's got its pros, it's got its cons, but we're going to be replacing that with PLA, which we have a bunch of. Now, to introduce your station, every station has one of these boxes that has all the tools you will need in order to use this machine or adjust this machine. Don't move these things away. Leave the kit, leave all the tools with the kit. It's here for you to use with this machine. Quick access. You will also have a nifty little spool holder. Now, you can use this for any size PLA filament rolls that we buy. It's handy. So to use this, pull out the rod in the center, remove your filament, and when you're doing this, you want your filament to, there we go, rise up the back. So here's the back, here's the front. The filament should be going up the back for this. So, now that I got that there, great. Let's talk about the steps. So the first step is going to include preheating the extruder tip. Just to show you in here, a little messy, that's okay. If this extruder tip is cold, then that means that the plastic inside of it is hard and you're not going to be able to remove any of the plastic. So for this, I'm going to try and show you, but I'm going to narrate as well. We go to utilities, change cartridge, okay. Unload filament, okay. And now we are going to wait for the extruder tip to reach whatever temperature we need. I want to say 180 degrees Celsius, but we just wait patiently. I'm going to pause for your pleasure. As I'm waiting for this to heat up, I want to show you where some of these parts are. So, the filament goes up. I'm going to show you there's a hole back here that you can get your filament through, but the filament goes up through a little hole back here, which is lined up with this coupler. This is that straw that's going to hold the filament and guide it to the extruder. You have this metal tab, which is going to release the filament from that toothed wheel. And then it's just going to guide it along through to the extruder, which is down here. Now, as you're doing this, you may need to have better views of things. So I want to point out that this is the feeding mechanism. There's a tab that you can pull in and lift up this metal piece. And I just lost it. I was about to warn you, try not to lose it. I just did it. I'll have to go fishing for it with the tools that are conveniently located next to the 3D printer. All right, and just so you can see on the inside, on the right side of this hole, there's a motorized wheel. And on the left side, hopefully you can see this. When I pull this metal piece, it's going to move that left wheel. That's how pressure is removed from the filament. You may need this while you are installing new filament. Catch you when the filament's hot enough. The extruder's hot enough. Now, with my hand in front, maybe you can see the filament is just kind of billowing out of here. It's just sneezing all over the place, which is good. That means that it's hot enough to melt the filament. Now we are able to remove the filament from the back. So I'm actually move this back so you can see it. All right. So the filament's going to go in through the tube down into the extruder, which is here. So what it should be doing is pulling it out for us. Now to help it along, So I get impatient. So what you can do is pull this metal tab, and then from the back, I can grab and pull the filament. You can see I got the filament in my hand. And if you look in the straw, maybe you can see the filament will be pulling up. So I'm going to just keep pulling it. And now I got an oopy doopy kind of goopy end. And you can see that lump. And that's no good. That's going to block us off. So using one set of pliers, there should be that circle at the bottom. That's where you can cut things. We're going to cut this and throw out our waste. So we get a nice clean end on that wire. Great. That's half of it. Okay. This thing I need. Oh, look at that. We got it. Joyful happenstance. All right. Once I've pulled out the filament, it says unloading, pull out filament, okay to return. Great. Now we're going to load the filament. For this, since we are applying our own filament, we have to choose the setting. I'm going to leave the settings standard. Nozzle is 210, bed is 40 degrees Celsius, unload is 170. Looks good to me. Apply. And now the extruder is heating again. We're basically going to reverse the process. First, I'm going to check that my roll of filament that I'm adding has a clean end. That is not clean. So I use my tool to cut the end. Come on. How was that thing? Okay. So now I got a clean end to my filament. Now what I'm going to do is start fishing. Go fish. So in the back, you're going to see right in the center. Whoop, hello! That's where we're going to feed our filament. And the reason that we wanted it to feed up in the back, as you can see, it's going to kind of go in the direction we need it to go. Now, I'm going to just point out here, your hole to insert it is right here. It's right behind this cap that you don't want to lose. Now that it's hot enough, it tells me to insert the filament. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to insert the filament. Let's see. I start pushing it in. I use this little lever. I pull it, and I just check that the filament makes contact with the wheel. And now I click OK on the interface right there. And now I have to watch. I see that the wheel is going, and oh, look at that. It's going already. This is working way better than the last time. We're not done. We can't assume it's perfect. We have to wait. We want to make sure that it is extruding our color. See, the old filament may still be stuck in the extruder, in this extruder over here. And we just want to guarantee that it's flowing okay and not stuck or anything before we are finished. All right, so it started its process, and I can see black is coming out. Let's see. So it started off black, and now we're getting some blue. That's good. I'm just going to pull that. So you can see it started off black in my hand, and it's making its way to become blue, which is our new color. It's going to slowly become the true color of our material, and it's getting a brighter blue as we let it go. Once you're all set, you can click OK. Otherwise, you can wait for it. Sometimes you need to say, like, hey, keep feeding it. We're having issues here. I don't see it. And that's fine. You just repeat the process. But that is how you remove and refill the filament in a Davinci 3-in-1 Pro.